In Morocco, as in all parts of the Muslim world, people should observe the 5 pillars or duties of Islam and attend the mosque regularly. They also visit the shrines of saints, for many Muslims believe that saints and holy persons can intercede with God on their behalf. High in the Atlas Mountains lies the shrine of Sidi Shamharouche, a legendary saint revered throughout Morocco. Each year, people make the pilgrimage to the shrine in search of grace and blessing, or for help with specific problems, promising to return if their prayers are answered. The city of Marakech has nearly 100 shrines, each dedicated to the memory of a local holy person or a more widely known Islamic figure. The mosque and shrine of Sidi Bel Abbas is the most sacred, for Sidi Bel Abbas is the patron saint of Marakech, one of the 7 saints believed to guard the 7 gates of the city. Near shrines and mosques like this sit fortune tellers or shuafas who are in touch with spirits. Spirits, unlike saints, have never been alive. They inhabit the space between heaven and earth, between the known and the unknown, and they sometimes meddle in human affairs. Spirits may also be called upon to predict the future and to influence the events of everyday life. Shuafas manipulate a variety of objects. They heat lead, and the spirits help them interpret the shapes into which it falls as it hardens, or they analyze the fall of the cards. Fadila and Aisha, 2 close friends, consult a shawafa named Saadia, who has an established reputation and a private clientele. Fadila is barren. Her brother is ill in a distant city and wants her to come and care for him, but she is uncertain whether or not to go. Saadia has a close relationship with a benevolent spirit named Sidi Mimoun. Sidi Mimoun gives Saadia messages, which she transmits to her clients.
الله يعلي فرجتك، الله يوقف علمك، الله يعمر بوجود الناس طايحين يقول لكم فتح السرد. انت تقدمتي هادو عندي نطلب الله تعالى الله يوقف علمك، وهما راه تيتقبلوك 100 فوق 100. صلي على بنتي. وان انت الله يعلي فرجتك، وان انت مقدمه بغيتي تقطعي البحر بغيتي تهرب ما عرفتش فين غتمشي. مازال شادك سمعتو لي شي.
شديت ديك اللفظيله وبعدين تنقولها لك.
راسي بعثوا لي شهادتك وجلست رفعتها متيلك وتكتم بين رجليك وما يكون عمل ما يكون نصر لك وهادو تيحبوا عبين كاتيلينا العمل بينتينا واني رزق بينتيك واني خصك تصبر لي شويه انتقل قدمتي لي شويه كاين ساعه على جهه الغمه وجهه الطشاش نمشي برا وكاين الناس اذا تقدمي عندهم وتدخلي عندهم ويجيو يشتك منك
كاين عطاهم الله
وتجيهم الغيره منك على صواب الذكوره ديالهم.
لا 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 داكشي تقعنا
وكاين الساعه اللي تدخلي لمكاننا ويكون لينا واني بنتي عص على كرشك شويه.
الله الماكله ما كانش
عندك النصر وعندك القبول وعندك النصر قابل لينا ولان بنتي رد بالك شويه كاين الناس اللي تيتقدموا لنا في العمل لينا والنصر لينا ولا قطعتي البحر انا بري منك ماشي على 7 رجال غندوي لك لا قطعتي البحر ماشي هنا ما كاين والو عندك رد بالك بزاف.
ايوا بغيتي تغرق الراسك ايوا شوفي الطريق اللي تسلكك لا تقولي بيا
الماش يلعبوا بنا والكبده ما هنتنا والراس مشطون علينا وانا بنتي تقدمتي ولي 7 رجال في ساعه.
ايوا نهار يطلق الله الصراحه راه يد لينا ويا نولي ان شاء الله.
نمشي بعدا نقعد حتى نهار يدوز ونجيبو لنا يوم
صلي على النبي. تمي يذكر الله يرضي عليك. واحد يذكر
بلا شكون تا هو عنده ثقه في
وديري
كلشي.
ديري توثيقه وديري كلشي وحجرة الفك وفوسخلي وراه انتي متبوعه انتي وياه متبوعه. بزاف 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 بزاف.
Relationships with saints and spirits are a source of strength. But like relationships with family and friends, they need to be cultivated if they are to survive. People call on relatives on feast days, pilgrims visit shrines, and shuwafas periodically renew their ties with their spirits in order to maintain their power. Once a year, Saadia celebrates her relationship with her spirit, Sidi Mamoon, in a ritual reminiscent of the marriage ceremony. She invites clients, relatives, and neighbors to her home to witness the reunion and to share the feast which follows. The ritual, like a wedding, begins with an animal sacrifice. A black goat and 2 sheep are purified and passed 3 times over Saadia's head. The sacrifice will both purify her and give her power. The participants in the ceremony wear colors, red, black, green, yellow, and white, which are identified with religious organizations. Saadia's white bridal veil is covered with a number of different colored scarves. As the animal dies, Saadia herself is purified with incense and embraces the sacrifice. The musicians employ a particular beat with castanets and drums, which is thought to encourage the progress of trance and spirit possession. Saadia's ecstasy continues for nearly an hour. Her veil is stained with the blood of the sacrifice, just as the bride's garment is stained with the blood of the marriage consummation. Saadia's family belong to the Ganawa religious lodge, whose members say they are descended from Bilal, the black slave freed by the Prophet Muhammad. The musicians are also Ganawa. Their instruments, their rhythms and chants are characteristic only of this group. The sacrificial animals are skinned and cleaned in preparation for the festal meal. Any person who responds to the particular rhythms of the Gnawa music may feel compelled to dance. Saadia is joined by two older Shawafas and a younger woman. The older ones were once in touch with Sidi Mamoun, but are now more or less retired. The younger woman is apprenticed to Saadia and hopes to become a Shawafa herself. Her moon is just beginning. The fumes of incense and the scent of rose water are thought to revitalize a person in trance. Persons in trance are said to reach a level of consciousness where they can defy physical pain. They may strike themselves with sharp knives and yet not be harmed. In this way, they demonstrate that they have detached themselves from the physical world and are in a state of grace. Spirits have limited influence in human affairs, and Shawafas cannot deal with all situations. Saints have far greater power, for they are thought to be closer to God. Each year, the annual celebration of a saint like Sidi Shamharush draws thousands of men and women, not only from nearby villages, but from cities and towns all over Morocco. For Sidi Shamharush is said to be one of the 7 spirit kings and an arbiter between good and evil spirits. Pilgrims climb to nearly 8,000 feet by mule or on foot to the shrine at the base of Jebel Toubkal, the highest mountain in Morocco. The difficulties of the journey are said to be welcomed by the pilgrim, for they increase the efficacy of the pilgrimage. The first stage of the celebration takes place at the village of Aremt. Here the tents of merchants and entertainers have been set up, for the celebration is not only a religious occasion, but has important social and economic functions. Young and old gather from surrounding mountain villages. The feast also provides an opportunity for families separated by employment or schooling in faraway cities to be reunited. In the afternoon, pilgrims assemble to witness the central public event, the sacrifice of a black bull in the courtyard of the religious lodge. Clad in white and carrying a banner, the members of the Brotherhood of Sidi Shamharush process ceremonially into the courtyard. The bull is brought in. It is given each year by one of the 4 villages in the valley and offered in honor of the saint. The congregation is blessed by the religious leader. All the people are now in a state of purification, having taken part in the sacrifice. At this moment, they request great favors from God and may expect them to be granted. The blood of the sacrificed bull is believed to contain powerful grace. Some pilgrims taste it in the hope of sharing in some of its power. After the sacrifice at the lodge, pilgrims may go on to complete the second stage of the pilgrimage. They will climb to the shrine itself and spend the night there. Aisha and her daughter Rabia are making this final journey together. Aisha is concerned about her older son and worried that Rabia has had no offers of marriage. The shrine was built according to direct orders from the saint himself. Legend states that he appeared in the village of Aremt perhaps 500 years ago and asked for a horse. By night he rode the horse silently around the mountains, and by day he turned into a black dog. On the 7th day he announced, "I am Sidi Shamharush, king of spirits and human beings, for my mother was human and my father a spirit. Build me a shrine." "But where?" asked the villagers. "I will leave a sign when I disappear," he replied, "and the sign will be stones upon stones." A shepherd boy found the pile of stones, and the white domed shrine was built over it, where the mountain spring gushes forth from the rocks at the head of the valley. Villagers also say that Sidi Shamharush was a real man, a pious scholar who lived until the 1890s and is buried here. On first arriving, pilgrims pay a visit to the shrine itself and pray. The water of the mountain spring is sanctified by its proximity to the shrine, and women bathe in the pool, behind a wall built beside the spring to protect their privacy. They collect the healing water to take home to their relatives and neighbors. In the stone shelters surrounding the shrine, pilgrims spend the night hoping to dream, for these particular dreams offer clues to the solution of individual problems. They are interpreted by one of the religious teachers from the lodge. In the morning, Aisha has 2 dreams to report.
اللهم بارك الحمد لله. الله يخليك بغيت نحكي لك واحد المنامه. خير والسلامة. انت اول مرة عندكم في الدوارتي. اييه. كنشوف الشيخ ديالكم جاب لي شي حاجة ديال المزقون. اييه. قال لي هذه انا عطيتها لك تديها. واخا. وانا قلت ليه ما عندي فاش نديرها. واخا. قال لي لا لا ما عندك فاش ديريها واخا تجيبي خرقة راس. اييه. وتعقدي فيها هاد الامانة تديها معاك. واخا مزيان. التفسير نتاعها كيفاش؟ مزيان الرزق ديالك. الرزق ديالك. الحمد لله. وملي جينا هنا البارح نعسنا بالليل سيدي شمهاروش كنشوف خير وسلام واش انا ناعسه عندي واحد المسافر بعدين هو جا قال لي يا امي انا جيت قلت له وليدي كيف داير قال لي يا امي جبت لك واحد المخرج جديد مزيانه وجيت انا بصحه جيده وقلت الخدمه ديالي مزيانه الخدمه ديالها كيفاش الخدمه مزيان ديالها مزيان القلب المقرش هي القلب كان مغيره شويه دابا لاباس عليه الحمد لله.
Pilgrims have been climbing to the shrine of Sidi Shamharush for hundreds of years. Today, more people than ever are coming to the shrine, for taxis and buses allow them to travel more easily to the starting point of the pilgrimage on the lower slopes of the mountain. In a plains village near Marakech, where Aisha was born, a new shrine is in the process of development. People are already beginning to revere the mound of stones, marking the spot where a pious villager, who died last year, used to sit and talk with passers-by, advising them on religious matters and offering help to those who were troubled. The villagers soon hope to build a whitewashed dome over the rough stones. Throughout its history, Islam has accommodated many diverse forms of worship, appropriate to different social circumstances. But people perceive their own mosques and shrines, their own saints and spirits, as all part of the wider Muslim tradition.